second term, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I stumped for Kamala. You worked so hard.
Yeah.
We all worked really hard for the ticket.
Yeah.
And I woke up the next day thinking, my state voted for Donald Trump again.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out how to conduct myself here.
Yeah.
After I tuned out for about a month.
Did you? Yeah.
I had to turn off all the social media.
Oh my gosh, right.
I watched 8 episodes of Dexter, or 8 seasons of Dexter.
You like Dexter?
To cheer myself up.
I was going to get cheered up by Dexter. Jesus.
And then I came out of it. I thought, I took an oath to the people of Michigan. I got 2 years left, and I got work to do. So
yeah, open hand.
I wrote him
not a
a note
fist.
after his inauguration. I watched his inauguration.
You wrote him a note. Wow. Did he respond to it?
He did. He called me. I put my number in it, and I said,
"Wow."
Because in his inaugural speech, he said something about auto workers, and I thought, all right, there's my hook.
Opening.
Congratulations, you won the election. I noticed you talk about auto workers. If that's something you want to work on, I'd love to work with you if you want to help the industry. Here's my number. And he called me.
Good conversation.
And then he called me a number of times since then.
And you visited the White House a few times.
I did. Well, every state has had natural disasters and
I spent 90
events
minutes with him in the Oval right after.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So many of them.
That's the job.
It's the damn job. And take the heat, right? You get it.
I worked hard to make sure he wasn't in the Oval Office, but he was. And for Michigan, I got to try to show up.
And those are good meetings, right?
I've gotten some really good stuff done. Honestly,
he delivered for you guys.
I got a fighter mission at Selfridge Air National Guard Base, and I tried to get that done under the Biden administration and then get it over the finish line. Yeah. But I got it done with him, so that's a huge deal to Michigan.
Yeah.
So even though I don't like it, I know how to work with people I'm not, best friends with.
I get it.
To put it lightly.
I get it.
Nobody's giving you a cookie for that. Nobody. Yeah. We know what President Trump does. All right. So, but what I want to ask you ladies, so what does it say about the Democrat Party when one of its most successful swing state governors is working with President Trump and giving him credit for results while the party's activist wing is telling Democrats to move even further towards socialism? Nicole, what are your thoughts?
So let's say the quiet part out loud. Gretchen, Michigan was going to get that auto worker stuff with or without you. As we clearly see, Trump doesn't need your permission, consent, or help to do anything for any of these United States. He is the chief executive of this entire nation, not just the Republican states, but every single state, every single territory. It's him. And as much as that hurts your little pea-picking heart, honey, it is what it is. Elections have consequences. And for you, Michigan won. Michigan won big. Not only did you get a more effective military base, right? A base that could have been rifted, absolutely could have been rifted, but you've got help for the auto industry. And by the way, those were things he talked about at the Republican convention before he was elected. Mm-hmm. He made those commitments then when the auto workers union showed up at the Republican convention. Do you remember she had that little meltdown because they showed up, because they came and they said, auto workers are not a monolith. Nobody owns our vote. Let's make a deal. And I can tell you, I was in the crowd. I was one of the people who went crazy. We went absolutely berserko because for my entire lifetime, they have been a vast Democrat solid block. You could bank on it and you could count on it. It was going to happen. They were going to vote Democrat. And here is their leader saying, not so fast. They've not been that good to us. This is what it means to have a president who's willing to work with anybody. Just as much as they think that she had to sit down with Satan, can I tell you that she was on the other foot? He looked into that grizzly mug of hers and said, you know what? I'm doing this for the people of Michigan. It's not for her. It's not for her. Who won't he work with to make sure that America is great again? When he's willing to sit down with those two people who actively called him filthy names, who actively supported people damaging his family and his family's businesses and reputations, who wished ill on his family. He sat down with them anyway. That's the mark of a good leader. He looked right past their evil and did what he needed to do. So while they think they're holding their noses, they ought to know they probably had the Oval fumigated when they left to make sure they didn't leave any of them Democrat germs behind. Make no mistake, Donald Trump is in for every single American, regardless of how you vote. every single American has something to win with this president.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Shelley, what are your thoughts there?
Let me translate what Gretchen said or didn't say. Basically, she reached out to Donald Trump, President Trump. Again, you're right, Nicole. He was not going to let that industry fail because she was ready to get reelected, and she needed her name tied to something so it can look like she was doing something for the people in her own state. Because it damn sure didn't happen under the what's his name? We forget
Sleepy
his
Joe.
name. Right. It didn't happen under, Scrappy from Scranton or whatever his name is. Okay. It damn sure didn't happen under him. So she latched on to Trump that when her state certainly votes red. So she needed that for herself. This was nothing short of basically Gretchen ensuring up the vote for herself so that she can be reelected. That's all it was. That's all it was. So, whatever. I was listening to that and I said, granted, you should sit down, whatever governor you are, sit down with the president, even if it's not
Absolutely.
the president you voted for, because all of these are our 50 states. So that goes with the territory. But don't act like you were just going all out of your way and you want the creds or whatever. Bullshit, Gretchen. Bullshit.
What's up, everybody? This is Poppin' Politics. Get your merch. Are you a Poppin' Politics fan? Are you unapologetically American? Or not black, not white American? We got it all for you right here. Get your merch.
Get the classic shirt. Classic. Goes with everything, comes in a variety of colors. Smart, edgy, conservative, like us, like you. This is a great way to support the channel. Click the merch button.
There is no shame in being an American. Get your shirt today and be unapologetic about it. Get your shirt, wear it, and be a proud American.
You can get it all in t-shirts and hoodies. You can get it in stickers, on bags. You can get it all on our website, metroconservativemedia.com, or our YouTube page, Pop and Politics, and tag over to store. You can get your merch and show you're proud to be an American and support Pop and Politics. Absolutely. Absolutely. Folks, the lesson here is President Trump gets it done. He gets things done. And even if it means having to work with these slimy, no good people, he gets it done for the American people,
Mm-hmm.
just as you mentioned, but both of you mentioned. That's what it's all about. That's what it used to be about in, being an elected office in Congress, in the executive. You work across the aisle sometimes to get the stuff done. But the Democrats have become the party of gridlock. They have become the party of passing it down the line, passing it on to the next generation. This is what they've become. Here in Maryland, they can't pass, if they try to pass a budget, but they're really passing it on to the next generation. This is what they do. They don't get things done. They don't create anything. And this is what we try to say, on this show all the time. Elections have consequences, and sometimes the consequences don't really show until the next generation or several years down the line.
Mm-hmm.
We got to wake up, folks. We have to wake up. All right. Because this is serious. This is serious.
Very serious.
Yeah. All right. If that got you fired up, check out this video and don't forget to subscribe.